Ever noticed how every pair of designer sunnies in Australia feels oddly familiar? Ray-Ban, Oakley, Prada, Versace, different looks, different vibes, but somehow the same sky-high price tag. And no matter where you shop, all roads seem to lead to one place, Sunglass Hut. But here's the twist, Sunglass Hut is just the storefront. The real power player behind your premium peepers, EssilorLuxottica, a global giant that owns almost everything, from the designer labels to the retail shelves, even the lenses themselves. This company doesn't just dominate the eyewear game, it is the game. Today, we're pulling back the shades on the corporate beast controlling your sunnies, and why Australia's eyewear market might be more monopolized than meets the eye. Sunglass Hut started in 1971 with one guy, one kiosk, and one very Miami insight that says, people here love two things, sunshine and spending money. So Sanford L. Ziff did what any smart entrepreneur would. He sold sunglasses. With no venture capital, no seed round, no algorithm, just heat, hustle, and a dream. Then one kiosk multiplied, then it turned into a chain. And before long, Sunglass Hut was the go-to spot for stylish eyewear, from the beach to the mall and beyond. By the 1990s, it was the retail brand for designer shades. They weren't just selling sunglasses. They were selling the fantasy of sun-soaked leisure with a logo. But in business, there's a tipping point. Once you get too successful, you stop being the underdog and start looking like acquisition bait. And by the early 2000s, that's exactly what Sunglass Hut had become. Big, global, prime for the picking. Enter Luxottica, the Italian eyewear titan that doesn't just play the game, it practically invented the board. From manufacturing and branding to retail shelves and even your local optometrist, this company controls it all. In 2001, Luxottica bought Sunglass Hut for around $653 million US, $462 million in cash, plus $191 million in assumed debt. That's more than $1.1 billion in today's money when you count inflation in. A steep price for a chain of sunglass shops? Maybe, but for Luxottica, just another flex on the monopoly board. By then, they already owned Ray-Ban, Oakley, and LensCrafters. Snagging Sunglass Hut gave them the full eyewear trifecta: make the glasses, brand the glasses, and sell the glasses. Vertical integration? Nope. This was vertical domination. Today, Sunglass Hut has over 3,000 stores worldwide, and in Australia, it's a goldmine. Whether you're in Bondi or Brisbane, chances are you've walked past at least 5 Sunglass Huts before your morning coffee. In Australia, they dominate the luxury sunglasses space. But it's not just about selling shades, it's about curating the illusion of choice. You walk in thinking you're choosing between dozens of independent fashion brands. However, the truth is, you're not. You're choosing between the various limbs of one very large octopus. In 2018, Luxottica merged with French lens giant Essilor, and the eyewear world quietly changed forever. It was like a tech company buying not just the phone factory, but the plants that make the screens, batteries, chips, and sensors, except in this case, it's all for your eyes. Essilor was already producing around 1/3 of the world's lenses. Luxottica owned the most iconic frame brands and retail storefronts. Together, under the EssilorLuxottica umbrella, they now control everything. From the design of your frames, the lenses inside them, the factories that produce both, the retail chains that sell them, and even the optometrists who write your prescription. So, you see, integrating vertically is just the start. Their real goal is to dominate the industry. Imagine if Nike owned Foot Locker, ran rubber plantations, and employed your podiatrist. That's the kind of cradle-to-checkout control we're talking about, only with eyewear, not sneakers. Now, let's go back and talk more about its dominance in Australia. EssilorLuxottica doesn't just sell you your sunglasses, it owns practically the entire supply chain. Through its retail empire, OPSM, Laubman and Pank, and Sunglass Hut, the company dominates both the medical and fashion sides of the eyewear market. But behind those polished storefronts lies something even more efficient. EyeBiz Proprietary Limited, a joint venture lens manufacturing facility that just so happens to be the main supplier for all those outlets. What they've built is a vertically integrated closed-loop system, a one-stop vision monopoly in designer packaging. And all of this happens under the calm, clinical glow of minimalist lighting and copy-paste store interiors, where competition is more of a vibe than a reality. The result? A marketplace that looks like choice, but functions like control. EssilorLuxottica can set the prices, manage the supply, and even guide the prescriptions, all while operating behind multiple brand facades. It's not just good business, it's a well-dressed oligopoly in optical frames. EssilorLuxottica doesn't just own Ray-Ban and Oakley, they also manufacture eyewear for luxury heavyweights like Prada, Chanel, Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, and more, all through long-term licensing deals. That sleek, high-fashion label you thought was independent and exclusive? Probably just another SKU in the EssilorLuxottica catalog. This kind of consolidation isn't just convenient, it's powerful. With fewer real competitors, they can set retail prices, control markups, and quietly smother innovation before it even hits the shelves. It's less a free market and more of a luxury eyewear cartel, but, you know, with immaculate branding and designer logos. In 2021, EssilorLuxottica teamed up with Meta to launch Ray-Ban Stories. Smart glasses with built-in cameras, mics, and just enough tech to feel like a Black Mirror episode in beta. Fast forward to 2024, and the partnership leveled up with the release of the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses, now featuring AI integration, voice commands, live streaming, and a camera so subtle it could make a privacy lawyer break out in hives. Sounds futuristic? It is. Sounds slightly terrifying? Also, yes. Privacy watchdogs have been sounding the alarm on the potential for silent surveillance. With no obvious recording indicators and a camera housed in a fashion frame, it's easy to film or be filmed without anyone noticing. Just to push the envelope further, 2 Harvard students hacked the glasses to run real-time facial recognition, because apparently mildly dystopian wasn't dystopian enough. So now, your sunglasses don't just block the sun, they might be scanning your face, collecting your data, and quietly streaming it to the cloud. For Australians, this means walking into most eyewear stores is less about making a personal style choice, and more about deciding which EssilorLuxottica brand you'd like to overpay for today. You're not comparing competitors, you're browsing catalogs of the same company wearing different outfits. Sure, the quality is consistent, but the price tags also consistently high, because when one company sets the standard, everyone else just follows or folds. Sunglass Hut isn't just a store, it's a showroom for one of the most powerful players in the fashion tech health game. EssilorLuxottica has built an empire not just on helping you see, but on controlling what you see and how much you pay to see it. And now, thanks to a cozy partnership with Meta, they've set their sights on something even bigger: your data, your face, your future. So, next time you try on a $400 pair of designer sunnies, remember, whether you pick Ray-Ban, Prada, or that boutique brand you can't pronounce, you're probably still paying tribute to EssilorLuxottica, the eyewear equivalent of a Bond villain with flawless lenses and full vertical integration. Like the video, subscribe if you enjoy corporate deep dives, and let me know in the comments what brand you thought was independent before this video ruined it for you. And until next time, keep your eyes open and your shades overpriced.